As a doctor, why I believe in ghosts, viewer reaction. Can I tell you the comments I received on that original video I put out, a few days ago? I just couldn't keep it in a box anymore. We've got to discuss the viewer comments because sometimes the comments are more interesting than the video itself. At least sometimes I think so. So let's share some of these right now. By the way, if you're new to my channel, hi there, I'm Dr. Andrea O'Connor. Welcome, and we speak about everything from medical to what you do on vacation. And I love talking about the supernatural paranormal. I just love it because I just feel like that is the great mystery that we just don't have all the answers to yet. So it's so intriguing to me. Okay, so let's go over the first one. I feel like this has echoes of something I've heard before. The viewer says, I recall a story in the UK. A doctor got paged to attend a patient's bed. On his way, he was stopped by a man who asked for directions to the next exit. But when he got to the patient's bed, he had already passed on. The patient had already died. But the doctor recognized the man as the one who just gave him directions. That's kind of a cool story. So the next comment, this was really interesting. My son was having open heart surgery, and while he was under, he crossed over and saw family members and pets. I love that because I miss some of my dogs and cats so much, don't you? The interesting thing is he wouldn't have known about all the pets we had, yet he saw them. That's pretty cool. So this sounds like it's from a nurse. I've seen them in hospitals. I think she's referring to ghosts. In clinics and other places. I was working in the ER. Totally crazy night. I got caught up and walked by the minor operating room. I saw a 9-year-old blonde boy in a red shirt, jeans, and white tennis shoes. Very descriptive, right? I went to the nurse's desk and asked for his chart and that I'd go see him. The nurses looked at me like I was nuts and said, there is no patient in the small OR. Maybe this is a doctor that wrote this. I went into that room and there was no one on the stretcher. I've got a lot of those kind of experiences. Like that sounds like a doctor just saw a little boy in there and now there's no one. I've seen even deceased loved ones standing there preparing to take a dying patient. See? I'm telling you, this happens. Those of you that know. But those of you that have never been around the dying, you guys don't know this yet, but it's a thing we all see in healthcare. So no one dies alone. No one will be alone. There will always be someone, they say, a loved one or an animal helping you cross. That was a great comment. Thank you for that comment. So here's this comment. I'm a forensic anthropologist and quite fascinated by all the phenomena of death transitioning, passing, grief, taboos in human culture and rites. But what got me petrified was the fact of psychedelic hormone. Remember I talked about DMT, right? With similar effects of ayahuasca, produced by our brain, which is quite rational of primitive. I think they're referring to DMT again. I couldn't imagine a chemical substance that instead of suppressing the non-cognitive abilities and primal instincts, such as epinephrine, might actually induce us into a deeper intuitive and subjective realm of consciousness. We are talking about a shamanic, philosophical level of perception. That is a great comment because, and again, worded very well. Thank you very much. Yes, because I am very intrigued that, do you know, we still do not know everything about the human body and the brain. We act like we do, but I can tell you as a doctor and a nurse, right? Because I've talked about this before. I've gone to both schools and I've worked as both. There's so much we still don't know. There's so much in the brain and consciousness we don't understand, let alone what DMT is doing. Like, it's just, I feel like we're kind of traversing into a whole new frontier of what are ghosts, what are UFOs, what is going on within our brain that we can access alternate dimensions just from a little molecule that opens that door. It's so fascinating. That's why I love talking about this stuff. Yeah. So here's a good one. I spent many years trying to work this out, experiencing things through paranormal investigations and experiments, seeing and feeling with my own eyes, personal experiences. My goal for years was to find out the answers. What you must do is accept and not spend your life looking for the answer because you'll never find a definitive answer, so you must just accept. Well, that's an interesting comment. They go on to say, it's like the subject of UFOs, UAPs. We know these things are there. Folks try to find answers, but it just can't be done. It's beyond our understanding. People are beating themselves up, spending too much time trying to find the answer. Stop wasting your time and energy. Focus on life here on this planet while you are here and just enjoy. Just accept these things are real and happen and get on with life. I mean, yes, thank you. I mean, that is good advice. I should probably take that. But I'm just one of those people that, you got the thread on the shirt and you keep pulling and you keep pulling and you keep pulling, think you're going to get to the end, and it just keeps unraveling, unraveling, unraveling. And I've always been a curious person. I am never going to stop talking about this and keep looking into it. Now, I do believe in good and evil, right? I've talked about that. And I'm not trying to go ghost hunting in well-known haunted places. I'll go to more of the light ones. Like I have a video here where I go to a haunted resort. It was pretty benign, but there was a very cold, misty room. You can see that video. It's on my channel. I think it's I don't know, several videos down the list. It's a 2-part series, if that helps. And yeah, I'm not going to walk through the graveyard and try to provoke spirits. Like, yeah, I know that things can follow you around. I still don't know what these things are. I am assuming that, not all things are good and some can be evil entities. Yes, I believe that. Okay, so let's hear this comment. Several days ago, Joe Rogan had REP Anna Paulina Luna on his show. There's a 14-minute YouTube clip that Anna Luna talks about a skiff meeting of classified UAP and UFOs, and the discussion was about interdimensional beings. Anna Luna said there was actual evidence that these interdimensional beings are real, but she didn't want to confirm the beings as being angels, but maybe they are what we call ghosts. The Joe Rogan video is worth watching. Thank you for that comment. And I actually did see that clip because he has so many fascinating guests on. And as soon as they start talking about this, oh, you bet I am watching that. So thank you for that. And I already saw it. I thought it was fascinating. And I love it how Rogan does have kind of I feel like he has a good intuitive or like the sniff test for BS. He does great interviews, yes. So I'm on top of that. Thank you for that. Oh, I love this comment. My cat used to jump on my bed whenever I went to sleep. And for weeks after she passed on, I still felt her jump on the bed. I feel you. I had a beautiful orange, half Himalayan, half Persian cat. This beautiful cat. He was amazing. Unlike any cat I've had before, he would fetch. Imagine that, a cat that fetches. He was so loving. And he lived so long. I think he was 15 or so when he passed on. And for a while, I would feel just that same thing when you jump on the bed, when the cat would jump on the bed, the weight of that and him pawing around. Like I did feel that. So I know what you're talking about. And I have a lot of people comment on my channel that their pets do that. I think that's a real thing. Someone comments, my grandma also kept seeing a man appear at the end of her bed every evening close to her passing. Yeah, that's what I talk about. People at the end of life that we've worked with in hospice near the phase of they're going to go, see their loved ones come. I keep saying that. I almost want to say that should be like another determination, almost like a vital sign. Like, are you seeing your dead loved ones or pets come in the room? That means we're close, right? Mm-hmm. This commenter says, I have a ghost at my place of work. It's not pleasant to work nights alone here. Yeah. Yeah, that would, yeah. This commenter says, it's only when I'm half asleep we can see visitations when we're in bed. Same thing for me. And yes, even Eartha Kitt's daughter said that her mother kept mentioning seeing the last day of her life, people waiting for her. Huh. That's a great comment too. Do y'all remember Eartha Kitt? Yeah. Someone else commented, I believe we're seeing spirits, not ghosts. I've seen more than one, more than once. What physically makes the spirits, I don't know. But every death, I clearly saw my first cat, whom I had a strong connection with. My little boy, I saw very clearly after his passing. No dark shadow, no wispy, smoky flying thing. My son, clearly as if he was standing right before me. Then later, many, many clear signs, I know it was him. Now, are there ghosts too? Yes, I think so. The Bible even speaks of them. That's a great comment. Thank you for that comment, because I have heard that too, patients saying that they see a deceased loved one that looks like a real 3D person just standing right there, that it's not a see-through wispy thing, or people seeing balls of light like orbs and even a face in the orb. Yeah. What are these? Right? We don't know. And I don't know if we'll ever know. But I agree, these things exist. Yeah. Yeah. It's so insulting when people sometimes comment, like, you're a doctor and you're not professional. Why are you talking about this? Well, how do you ever get to the answer of anything without exploring it? Like, you have to be open-minded to get to the truth and to get to answers, right? Yeah. So let's see what this person says. Hypoxic brain circuitry can trigger very early memories vividly as hallucinations of early family members. The self-soul is made up of whole body electrical energy. DMT experiences are vastly different than NDEs. DMT opens an awareness of the subsystems which work behind the scenes to support consciousness. Our self-making pattern organizing brain circuits make these into machine elves, etc. Well, thank you for your opinion. I do believe the lack of oxygen to the brain can cause hallucinations. I absolutely believe that. But I'm talking about people that don't have a brain injury and there's no lack of oxygen and they are seeing these things. Okay. Yeah, but thank you for your comment. So, and then someone comments, it's mainly the scientific fact that energy can never be created nor destroyed. It can only change form. Absolutely, right? Law of thermodynamics. When you go into a new surrounding, there's a feeling that people get, whether it's, they put chicken skin, but I'll call that chills, fight or flight feeling, etc. There has to be something to that. By the way, I was a ghost in the middle of the day at my grandparents' unoccupied cabin. I think they meant to say they saw a ghost. The fear and terror of that experience will always be fresh in my mind. Okay, that was an interesting comment. So Thomas Edison called ghosts swarms of energy. He was working on an invention to talk to ghosts near the end of his life. Yes, I am familiar with that. Yep. So these are really great comments. Yeah, someone put shadows that slap you are never good. You should get your house cleansed. Thank you for that. Our house is full of so much love and light and goodness. But unfortunately, someone was killed in our house. So I think that energy is lingering here. Do I know that for 100%? No, I'm just guessing. But that did happen. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to share some of these interesting comments because, boy, I love it when the comments are super interesting, and I will spend so much time reading through every comment. I try to put a heart next to each one that I read. I don't always do that because sometimes comments get buried under other it's a thing, but I try, and I do try to read every comment. So I thank you guys for being here, and I will see you on the next one.